Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed until September. Boo-hoo, tears all round. I, like many other people, were looking forward to trying it out, but delays are delays, they can't be helped. And one thing people say, in fact I like to say it when I hear about a delay, is if it means the dev team can take more time with it and don't have to rush or work excruciatingly long hours, then the delay is more than Oh no. Yep, CD Projekt Red, which already faced allegations of unreasonable work hours with The Witcher 3, has straight up admitted that from now until the game's release, developers will be expected to work very long hours. Well, that sucks. That fucking sucks. Crunch fucking sucks. It's not a great look, especially at a time where things like crunch are being examined, worker rights are coming up more and more in the conversation, and we've seen some really uncomfortable, unsettling stories coming from places like Bioware, a place where so-called stress casualties are normal. People work themselves so hard, they literally have breakdowns and need months off work. There are disturbing stories that come out of Rockstar, the culture of fear it has there, the expectation that you're going to work under some really shitty conditions and not complain about it. And Epic Games was another one, where there's said to be a lot of implication. If you're not prepared to break your back working for them, they'll find someone else who is. CD Projekt Red itself has come under fire for crunch in the past. There have been former workers who alleged that they had to work unreasonable amounts of time for The Witcher 3, and the company didn't really deny it, it just shrugged and said, the way we make games ain't for everyone. And this time, I suppose to the company's quasi-credit, they're being open about it. For indeed, the months of delay will not allow the team to take it easier, to work at a more relaxed pace, as joint CEO of the company, Adam Kaczynski, has more or less said that crunch is unavoidable. To some degree, yes, to be honest, he said when asked if crunch was going to be a thing. We try to limit crunch as much as possible, but it is the final stage. We try to be reasonable in this regard, but yes, unfortunately. Well, yeah, that is unfortunate. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, I do not think crunch is a triumph of the workforce. I think it's a failure of the management. I just hope no one gets hurt. I mean, if you have to hurt someone to make a game, then you've truly fucked up. This was most keenly felt with the aforementioned Bioware and the development of Anthem, that idea that they have in that company called Bioware Magic, which means they can fuck about as much as they want years before release, and then at the very last minute, it'll all come together. But that's not magic. Magic and hard fucking work are two very different things, especially when that hard work is a result of management not knowing its ass from its fucking elbow for the prior years. For added context, GameSpot shared a quote from CDPR's John Mames, who spoke about this kind of thing in October of 2019, saying, "You sacrifice some things to do that and be part of that. There are a lot of people who come into the industry that are fresh. They don't really understand what it takes to do it. So we get a lot of new guys coming in and they go, oh god, this is like too much. But then we have other guys come in from Rockstar Games and they're like, this is not even crunch. We're doing the best we can to keep the work under control, but sometimes when you're doing some big ass game like this, it's not always possible to do that. It takes really hard work to make it really awesome." Yeah. You do not need to be comparing yourself to Rockstar Games in this regard. Rockstar, more than any other company in recent years, has come under fire for treating workers like shit. In fact, this very channel has a report on working conditions at Rockstar that no one really likes to talk about. It really doesn't say much at all that Rockstar workers think what you're doing isn't that bad. CD Projekt Red is a difficult company for me. On the one hand, they do a lot of... they make great games, let's be frank about that. It's not like they're crunching all this time to produce something like Anthem, but I've said before, The Witcher 3, as good as it is, as many times as I've played it, as many hours as I've put into it over the years, I could have waited another few years for that game, if it meant the people working on it had better lives. In many ways, CDPR puts out games and supports those games in ways that I want to see other companies do it. They have not crammed their games full of microtransactions. Their DLC are actually full-fledged expansions. But then you get shit like this, or times when their PR just really sticks their foot in their mouth. Personally, there are just a lot of roadblocks between me and my liking the company. And while CDPR can shrug its shoulders and say, what we're doing isn't for everyone, it's clear that workers were not happy at that company. That's why they blew the whistle on the crunch there. Any company can say, well, what we're doing isn't for everyone, but it's not that great of an excuse. Cyberpunk 2077 has a lot of hype behind it. CDPR is still something of a community darling, controversies aside. I understand some people are going to be a bit salty at me for calling them out for crunch. But if you were one of those people that, criticised Bioware for it, or Epic Games for it, you do need to be a bit consistent and agree that it's shitty in this case as well. Or not. I mean, I've seen quite a few people express the sentiment that fuck them. Just fuck the developers. There have been, I mean, look at this. This right here is the yin and the yang of it. One person saying, don't hurt yourselves. The other one saying, fuck that, it's been delayed, I'm impatient. I don't care how long you've been waiting for a game, it's not worth it. There are so many things in the world that are more important than video games, and I say this as someone who's living is literally revolving around the existence of video games. I'm sure Cyberpunk 2077 will be really good. I mean, I've been looking forward to it. This colours that now, unfortunately. But if someone gets hurt making it, and, I hope they don't, it will not have been worth it. Simple as that. Bioware magic was not magic, it was management utterly failing its workers. I should hope more studios take that as a lesson on what not to do.